Hello, 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 and welcome back to Life on the Flipside. It is
Hello,
good to be
hello.
back. Yeah, I am in a happy mood today.
Yeah, I can
Um,
tell.
yeah, it's a weird thing. It's a weird thing. But anyway, before we start, we don't have any guests on because, well, if Phil Bell eventually remembers that we exist, it would be great if he came in. But yeah, unfortunately, Nine had to do other things, so.
Yeah.
Shout out to Nineoclockhero. He's awesome.
Yep.
But before I start, we do have a super chat that I do want to
Ooh.
address before I forget, because I will forget. Rob Parks for $5 says Luna is telling me to keep it classy today. I fear she might be disappointed. Rob, you're always classy. Don't lie.
Yeah.
Don't lie. You can't teach
Besides,
that shit. You can't. Just doesn't
it's an
happen.
unwritten rule. You must obey the cat.
Yes, the cat commands it. And I just love Nimrod has changed his name to Craftychenko's Secret Police.
You noticed that, did you? He's
I,
completed his training. He's got his
how
promotion,
could
a
I
new
not?
title.
How could I not? Like, in fairness, I kind of deserve it because when PhD Tony was on,
Hmm.
everything, anything, I would change my name to PhD Tony hates literature just to wind him up. So I can't really be upset because yeah, Craftychenko.
Yeah, that's all
Oh,
right.
I am
Oh,
here on another Sunday morning,
yes,
well,
you
Sunday
are.
evening for you,
Hmm.
with you reason. Yay!
Yay.
How's life over there?
Oh, life is life. It's just keeping on, keeping on. But good news is I have the next week off. I'm on holiday for TED. So,
I hate you.
uh, yeah, I need it. I really, really need it. It's been a rough month, January.
Yeah, it always is.
Yeah. So I had to power my way through 400 individual student reports, but I
How
got it done.
is that?
Hmm.
I don't envy you whatsoever. I'm just gonna say that. This is
Nobody.
why I can
No.
never be an educator. Just yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
just
Nobody
for that reason.
appreciates this. I know. Nobody appreciates us educators. Oh, you got another super
I
chat there.
appreciate you. Hang on. Before I appreciate educators. I just wouldn't want to be one.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
a pretty common sentiment. So,
we did get another super chat. David Oliver says, I tested positive for COVID on Thursday, staying
oh
home,
no,
but I'm eating now and feeling so much better today. I'm so happy you're feeling better.
good job.
Um, yeah, just take care of yourself, mate. Seriously.
Hmm.
And it's good to
Absolutely.
see you, by the way. It is good to see you. I know you've been around, but like it's always nice to see you.
Oh, jeez.
What's this about bribes? Someone's talking about
I'm on holidays for Teddy. No.
Well, in March I have 2 weeks holidays and it'll be for my birthday and I'm gonna go traveling. I'm gonna
Oh,
go over
good.
to well, we'll see who has me. We'll see who has me, but I'll be starting in Scotland anyway. And then I'll be harassing I'll definitely be harassing Taddy.
Oh,
That's
of
a
course.
must. And definitely harassing Tusk and Etty because
Uh huh.
mwahahaha. It's fun.
Mwahaha.
Because
Ooh,
it's fun.
yeah. I'm gonna be on. I'm gonna be on Eddie's hobby corner tonight.
Yes, you are, I noticed.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been a long time coming. I've been promising for a while, and now that I've got the holiday, I can stay up a little bit later and keep my promise. So I'll be there.
Close the borders now. They could close the borders. I'll still find a way in. We're
That's right.
good. It's me we're talking about.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go annoy some peoples.
It's just a wee bit of wishful thinking there, Taddy.
Yeah. Oh, so what have you been up to other than making reports and stuff?
Well, really, my time has been so full of just work that I haven't really had a chance to do much of anything else, to be honest.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I mean,
How
it
depressing is
just
that?
it seems to be that way. Every time you've got a holiday coming up, they just drive you into the ground right up until the last minute. You know?
Well, up till now, I have been in my work, I have been involved in just Ireland.
Mm-hmm.
And this month I started on the Nordic countries.
Oh
Like it
yeah.
actually properly started. So I have now 6 countries to be working on. So I'm
Oh
going to be
man.
fucking busy.
Oh, no kidding. How many hours are you doing every day?
More than I'm willing to admit. Let's just put it that way.
Hmm.
Sometimes it's 8, sometimes it's 10. It depends on what I have
Yeah.
to do, how
Yeah.
much workload comes in, but it's like, bleh.
Yeah.
Ooh,
It's,
ooh, 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 ooh.
oh,
I'm back to work 1 day a week after my near-death experience 5 months ago. Nimrod, I think you should come in and we should have a chat about that.
yeah.
You should talk to
Absolutely.
us about that. If you would be interested, I'll send you the link. Since Nimrod can never find the goat, I feel bad,
Yeah.
and I want to talk to Nimrod, and I want to
Yeah.
talk to Nimrod about Kitty. Look at the
Yeah.
kitty.
You got a free ticket to come on in there, Nimrod. And then you
Do
don't
you know
have
what?
to don't have to find goat to do it.
No, you do not. I'm just gonna put this in here.
Yep.
So,
Just send it to him anyway.
yep. Nimrod, if you want to come in, we have an open slot. Come on in. I'm warning. I know someone in the chat is going to take that up the wrong way. Fuck off.
Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
we'll
Oh,
eventually get started with the show. We'll eventually get started.
Rob Park says my birthday is also in March. Sadly, my spring break doesn't line up. Yeah, well,
Do you know what we should do?
what's that?
Do you know what we should do? I'm putting a call out now, okay?
Okay.
Because Rob has been such a huge influence over this channel. He really has,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and is invaluable, in my view, to this community. So
I agree.
anyone, I'm going to make up a card. I'm going to make up a birthday card for Rob. Anyone that
Hey,
wants
that
to
sounds
sign
great.
it, what I did with Professor Phil Bell.
Mm.
What you do is you physically write your screen name or your real name if you want that on it, your screen name, and send it to me, craftykeela@gmail.com, and I'll put everything together and I will send it to Rob, because Rob deserves a very special happy birthday from us.
Absolutely. I'll be the first to sign.
It's happening, Rob. It's happening.
Absolutely. He's a good dude. I had such a great time being on a stream with him. I look forward to doing that again. I had such a good time.
Oh, I love Rob. Rob is amazing.
Yeah.
Really
He
is. But there was something that I wanted to talk about that was a little bit more serious, although I didn't really want to get into it like immediately.
Yeah, go
Um,
for it.
just news. I know people. It's politics. It's politics. But
Mhm.
today marks the 50th anniversary of Bloody Sunday in Northern Ireland,
Mhm.
where basically January 30th, 1972, 13 civilians were shot dead by the British soldiers,
Mhm.
who opened fire on people attending a civil rights rally. And all they were looking for was human rights. That was it.
Mhm.
And it was kind of, it was the real start to the Troubles in Derry. Like, although it had already been gone, it was kind of After that, that's
Mhm.
where the fighting got really, really bad because people were so heartbroken over it.
Mhm.
So I did want to mark the 14 people because there was one that was shot that died later in hospital. And for the 14 people that never came home on Bloody Sunday, I do want to just commemorate that.
Mhm. And we have a Nimrod with us.
Yay! We have Nimrod, and he has Kitty. Can I take this down and show people Kitty?
Yeah, go for it.
You have Kitty right beside you, don't you, Nimrod?
I have Kitty on my shoulders.
Yes, you do. Hang on. I get so excited to see this cat. I swear to God, Nimrod has been sharing. There we go. There we go.
That's a good-looking cat.
Hang on. We need a close up of that cat. Oh, that cat makes me so happy. She's like, "What the hell are you doing?"
She's a happy kitty now. She just got her breakfast.
Well, I'm
there
very,
you
very
go.
happy. Welcome.
Hello.
Hello,
It is
hello.
good to finally drag you on.
Yes,
Absolutely.
StreamYards actually works for me for a change.
Yes. See, that's because we're special. StreamYard just loves
Shocking.
us.
It will overheat my phone quite badly, but however.
Well, stay in as long as you can without making your phone explode.
Yeah. I'm just
It's
glad you're able to finally come
all right. Well, I have been annoying you in the chat for long enough.
on.
Come here. You are welcome to annoy me in the chat for as long as you possibly can.
As long as I make people laugh, that's the best thing.
Oh, you do. You were talking there about a situation. What happened? If you're comfortable talking about it.
Well, yeah, I'm okay talking about it now. It's been a bit of a journey. I was forced to give up alcohol 5 months ago because my liver exploded.
Oh,
Fuck.
Man. In combination with 10 liters of fluid in my stomach and a bacterial infection in my brain.
Ooh.
Wow.
Yeah, and I just made it to accident and emergency just as I was right on the edge.
Christ almighty. Well,
Yeah.
thank
So then,
fuck someone was able to help you.
well, they sent me home the first time I went to accident and emergency.
Yeah, that's because they're assholes.
Yeah, pretty much. And so I went back in and got sick in front of them, and they just basically moved me to my own room. And yeah, and then after they stabilized me from that, they decided they were going to remove the fluid from my stomach. So they put in a drain on my left side, which hurt like fuck.
Yeah.
And yeah, and so when they drained out the first liter, my blood pressure dropped to about 60/40, and my pulse basically disappeared. And nurses panicking all around me, making my bed so that my head was lower than my feet, and all I wanted to do was just go to the toilet because I really needed to pee.
Oof.
And they wouldn't let me, and I couldn't understand why.
Huh.
Yikes.
Yeah, so cloud cuckoo land for a few months, and now I'm starting back to work.
Well, at least you're back on the mend, eh?
Yeah, this is true. 5 months sober. Never thought I'd ever say that.
Well, you know, I said the same thing 33 years ago, and I'm still on that wagon.
Well, yep. I don't know if I'll be permanently on that wagon, but yeah, until my doctor gives me the absolutely all clear.
Well, I'm just happy to have you here. Seriously.
Absolutely.
Seriously, I always look forward to you being in the chat, and I'm so glad you're okay. I mean,
Yeah,
you're not okay because fuck. Like,
well, I am okay now because I'm getting green lights from my doctor.
that's good.
Because they've been doing ultrasounds and blood tests like nobody's business on me, and all other sorts of tests and gastroscopies and stuff. And yeah, I get to go in and deep throw the camera now on Thursday. Woohoo!
Ugh. Yeah, that's a very pretty way of saying it.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what other way you could
Yeah.
describe exactly what a gastroscopy is.
Yeah. Rob Parks is saying, please tell me they didn't get you a catheter.
They offered me one, I politely refused.
Politely. Politely, he says.
Yeah, I'd be polite too. Get that thing the fuck away from me.
Yeah. Luckily, my blood pressure came back when they turned off the tap to drain the fluid because obviously 10 liters of fluid in your stomach is quite a large amount.
It
and
is.
obviously it puts pressure on your heart and stuff. And so when all that pressure was gone from the heart didn't kind of know what to do anymore.
I'm surprised your stomach didn't rupture.
Well, it wasn't my stomach. It's the abdomen, should I say, not stomach. The abdomen was full of fluid because when the liver stops processing,
it had to leak somewhere.
Yeah, it just basically stores fluid in the body. So I'd been going into the doctors for several months with warning signs because my legs were swollen occasionally, and I'd have bloated stomach, and nobody batted an eyelid.
Well, I'm fucking delighted that you're on the mend. I really am.
That's great news.
Yeah, the worst thing is now I have to start going back to work, but I'm only on like 25%. So yeah, that's not too bad. Go in and check in one. Yeah, go in and check in one flight and have a laugh with some old friends.
Good.
And use the gym we have at work. So that's another good thing. That's one of the instructions from the doctor. So I'm getting stronger.
Yeah, just don't overdo it in that gym. But yeah, it's great that you have it.
Yeah, no, there's a free gym at work, and there's also the physiotherapist, which I have to go and see, and she gives me a plan of what to do. And there's also a gym in the health center here as well, which I have to go in and do training in there too, in front of the physios. So yeah, it's I lost a lot of strength, because I went in, I was 107 kilos going in, and when I came out, I was like 80 kilos.
This is a very, very, very good question, and one that I think we're all asking. Can you take your cat to work with you?
Strangely enough, in Sweden, there are different rules as to where you can take pets and what pets you can take. I don't take my cat to work.
Aww.
Some people can. Well, I don't think she'd be too happy with the stupid that goes on there. She'd just be clawing people's faces off all the time.
But that'd be amusing.
But yeah, no, airports are one of the few places in Sweden where you can't even take dogs.
Well, unless they're service dogs.
Yeah, that's it. And we don't have any airlines that accept service dogs.
Oh. What?
Yep.
That's surprising.
Ryanair is one of them.
Ryanair do accept service dogs.
I'm
sorry. Whoa. I have worked for Ryanair. I have taken a dog on Ryanair. They do take dogs. If they're for the blind, they do. They can't not because it's an EU directive. Which
I'll have you know that I have refused people flying with Ryanair because they didn't have all their paperwork with them. And
no, it's not. Well,
Ryanair
we
are very strict.
Yeah, we had our paperwork.
Yeah, exactly. Ryanair are very, very strict, and if it's not pre-booked and you don't have all your paperwork, sorry, nope.
Exactly. Yeah, as long as you do the fucking work, then yeah. Because I have done myself and the person I used to care for, we went over to the UK a few times, and it was either get the booze cruise, and sit on a bus for fucking 4 hours. The bus tried as well, actually, to refuse us entry onto the bus and rail, or bus and sail, I should say. And because it's an EU directive, and because we have all the paperwork, and what's worse, I have somewhere in the back of my my normal folder, I have all of the EU directives that say that working dogs are permitted anywhere, pretty much. So yeah.
Yeah, that they're the only exception. But as Tatty Bogle says, papers, please.
Exactly. Phil, you have a link, good sir. Please do come in and join us.
Yes, for those of you just tuning in, I am not Professor Phil Bell.
Nimrod, one and only.
I sent you a link in a DM in Discord, Professor Bell.
Well, can I just say I'm fucking delighted to be talking to you at last.
I didn't think two Irish people were allowed on the same stream at the one time.
Yeah, we've had Stephen on from Cider and Port. We've had Math Pig on, although he's fake Irish, so it doesn't really. I don't know.
Don't cross the streams, man. Don't cross the streams.
Oh, it's just so good to talk to you at last.
I don't understand that, because I hear your voice every week.
Yeah, but I see you in the chat all the time, and we don't actually, and that's one of the reasons why this show exists, is to break down that whole division between the content creator and the people that watch our work. Because we're all the fucking same.
Yep.
So all of this bullshit of, because they're content creators, we have to treat them special. No, I am great. I am a fan of this community. I am a fan of you. I am a fan of the people that are in this chat. Just to be able to talk to you guys means everything.
Well, now I do have a channel, and I am trying to become a creator, so
cool.
Not bad. So yeah, no, my daughter really is very, very into YouTube. She's too young to have her own channel, so cool. I said to her, "Do you want to film some things? Let's do some shorts." So we'll be doing that sometime when the weather gets better.
Well, put it in the private chat, and we'll share it. I'll share the fuck out of that.
Oh yeah,
when you do.
I always shield myself on anybody's chat where I have the spanner.
Have you got this? You have this spanner on mine, I think.
Kraftychenko Secret Police has a spanner, yes.
Yes. Well done on the name, by the way.
Yeah.
It took me about 2 minutes.
It's about the same amount of time it took me for PhD Tony Hates Literature. I think he was on Team Skeptics the first time I used that.
In chat by using their names.
Trouble in the house.
Oh shit, Clive Wells is here.
Hello.
Sorry.
Hey, Clive, how you doing, buddy?
Dr. Clive Wells is here.
Oh man. Spooky bed hair. What about the lurkers?
Yay, Spooky! It is good to see you, man. It's been a while. Anon is here as well. Oh.
Yeah, that's right. He is.
We lost Nimrod. That's okay. I think he's going to put his link in the chat and then rejoin. I hope.
Cool.
Yeah, we got to speak to Nimrod.
Yahoo.
That makes me happy. And he's back.
He's back.
Don't know what happened. An alarm went off to remind me to take my insulin, and suddenly I couldn't hear you anymore.
Well, that's the wonder about fucking StreamYards. You can always come back in.
Yeah.
As long as you have the link, you can always come back in. It's great.
Yes, that's one of the few good things I've found out about it, because usually it just messes up everything I do on my phone. But then my phone isn't new and it's messed up, so.
Have you got a block you?
No, of course not. I've got an iPhone. How dare you?
Even worse.
Yo.
Fucking iPhones.
It's a me, Mario Rui. Hello.
Yay for the lurkers. I lurk so
Yay.
much. I do. I lurk so much.
Lurk.
I'm usually just popping by before the Sunday dinner thing. You have a Sunday dinner thing? Why wasn't I invited? Where's my Sunday dinner?
Yeah, me too.
What the fuck? Come on.
Jeez.
Spooky. If you're going to talk about dinner, you're going to have dinner for the whole entire place. Like, yeah, right. So what I'm going to do, I see you shared. I see you shared. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy that.
Ooh, kitty.
She's sitting on her own little blue chair beside mine.
Hang on. We need to show people. The cuteness. Look at this. Look at the little white on her nose. She's so pretty. I love the white whiskers as well. That's very unusual.
Yep.
Seriously, I love this cat. I really do.
Incredibly demanding, shall we say.
Is she talkative or is she just...
Oh, she's been very talkative today because basically I've been a bad master and didn't feed her breakfast on time.
Oh no!
And you're still alive?
I was 2 minutes late, but she was meowing like nobody's business.
So we're all going over to Spooky's mommy's house.
Okay.
For dinner.
Yeah, but sure. Yes. I'll just hijack a Ryanair 737. It should be easy to fly.
Yeah. Oh, they're very easy. It's like
you just press a button and everything starts up, and accelerators,
slide the
stuff.
thingy. You'll be grand. So people, I have mentioned before. There's a few people that are lurking or that have been lurking that probably don't know this, but you send me pictures of that cat every so often. Quite often, which fucking make my day.
Yeah, well, you did say that quite early on when I first messaged you and I sent you a picture of my cat. And then I did it again and you said it on stream. And so it's just like, well, sure, if it makes you happy, I'll send you lots of pictures. I've got 10,000 pictures in my cloud and more than half of them are of the cat.
In my Discord, as you can see, we do have a place for animal banter and animal pictures. So people, if you want to put your pictures in there, by all means, I am so happy to get private fucking messages with just pictures of cats. Like, I'm so weird when it comes to cats and dogs. I love them. And like when I had my cats and my goats, as people could see, I had more goats on my phone than I had pictures of my niece and nephew. And my sister got quite upset with me over that. And I was like, well, these are my babies. They are your babies. It would be weird of me to have pictures of someone else's babies on my phone.
Yeah, I've got more pictures of my cat than I do of my daughter.
Yeah. I would well believe it. It's just like whatever way they turn, it's just like I need to capture this moment.
I think I sent you the picture of her in her box. She got a new box. She got a new box which came in the post, and I just put it onto the couch and I blinked and there was a cat in it.
Do you have Clive, come on now. Do you have pictures of your favorite potatoes? No. Because I like eating potatoes, not looking at potatoes.
I only take pictures of potatoes if they are rudely shaped.
Yes. Correct answer.
The only answer.
Nimrod, you understand.
Yeah, I am Irish after all, and potatoes are an Irish thing. Like, now, you know what I mean.
We do. Potatoes. Some of us do fall into the stereotypical Irish bullshit when it comes to potatoes. And I actually
Potatoes
I went out to dinner last night and had the most incredible creamy potatoes that I've ever tasted. And I was just like, you know, when there's enough cream and butter and milk in it, and there's no lumps in it at all, and those potatoes were yum.
Yeah.
Can't beat a good big mountain of potatoes right in front of you. And the worst thing is, my daughter hates them.
No.
The only thing she likes the only things potatoes she likes are chips and crisps.
Wow.
Well, I can understand that. If she likes chips, then we're good. Then we're good. But mashed potatoes, there's just something very special about mashed potatoes.
Absolutely. And we have a Professor Phil Bell with us. Hello, sir. Welcome.
Hello, Phil. You're on mute, by the way, just in case you didn't know.
Can I just say mashed potatoes with a nice big pint of milk?
Ooh.
All right.
A
Does
pint
that help?
of milk.
Hello.
It helps wash them down.
Good evening. Good evening.
How are
from us
you,
over
Phil? You
here,
well?
Anyway. Very well, thank you. I presume it's in the mornings somewhere where you are.
For me, it's 12:10.
Yep.
Okay.
And
Oh,
for
that's
me,
good.
it's
Yeah,
7
yeah.
o'clock in the evening.
Oh, right. Okay. That's great. Oh, well, for us, it's 11. So thank you for having me on. What's
so
happening
good
this
to have
evening?
you.
I've only just managed to get on, so it's been quite a busy day today.
Oh, we're just talking shit. This is why I love this this stream. We're just talking about
Okay.
anything that comes to mind.
Oh, okay. Okay. Fantastic. Yeah.
What have you been up to? Because you've been doing stuff with a few people. You did stuff with you and PhD Tony, didn't you?
Yes, yeah, I have. Actually, I'm sort of getting to the stage where sort of almost 70 and it's time to hang the boots up, as it were. Let some younger people do the work.
Cool.
So I've been able to do a bit more than usual. So I've had about 4 or 5 videos sort of in quick succession, whereas it was probably a year before then. So yeah, but I enjoy interacting with the people on the YouTube, and sometimes
do we.
having a laugh at this flat Earth nonsense. I still can't believe that it's a thing actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
But
been nearly 2 years. It's actually this month. Well, we're going into February, so February. What, 2 years ago? I had a flat earther in my house, and that's where it all started for me.
yes, hard to believe that it is actually a thing, and there are people who actually take it seriously. That seriously do actually believe the Earth is flat, in spite of the overwhelming evidence against that nonsense. But there you go.
Well, it's not just flat Earth. There's so much. There's so much that just is so simple to explain. You know.
I was watching a thing on flat earthers, and my daughter came into the room and she's asked me what I'm watching. So it's like, this guy believes the Earth is flat, and she looks at me and goes, "Who would believe such a stupid thing like that?" And I just went, well done.
Yeah, my nephew does that all the time. He comes up to me and he's like, you know, I can't believe there are people who are stupid enough, and he's 12, who are stupid enough to think the Earth is flat. Ha 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 ha.
Yeah. Well, my wife has a different view. So if you've watched a couple of my videos, I've mentioned her in them, and her view is that there may be some victims, if you like, of some scammers. Only because, I mean, seriously ignorant. But for the most part, she thinks that they're just having a lark. She doesn't think that they could possibly be dumb enough to think the Earth is actually flat.
I mean, there's a few people that I think, they're really out to scam. People like Nathan Thompson and Oakley and stuff.
Yeah.
But then there are others that I see in their chats that are so desperate to believe it, because
Yes.
and this is why when I started my channel, I didn't want to just say all flat earthers are stupid, although
Yeah.
there's an argument to be made. I wanted to explain the kind of the claims behind the belief.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And where they come from and why they gain traction and why it's so important to actually challenge it.
Well, I think you're right, and you know, they very, very serious about it, and but the thing about it is that it has nothing to do with facts. They do have reasons to believe it, and some of them are not stupid. They believe it for other reasons other than the facts.
Yeah.
And you could say that about many religions and stuff like that. So, it's not based on facts. It's based on some other need. It could be some social need, whatever, but certainly not based on facts.
No.
I mean,
And
you can see with some of the people that FTFE quote debates, end quote. Some of them are just reading from a script. It is a scripted response that they have to everything he has.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the people who are leading all of these people into the flat Earth idea, they won't debate him anymore. So the people who he's now finding are just, they're brainwashed.
well,
Yeah.
is it a case? See, I've been thinking about this. Is it more of a case that they end up in these communities, and I've seen it happen with religious orders or with cult-like entities. I'm not going to say cults because it's not really a cult. Where what usually happens is they'll send out the likes of the Mark Sargents and the Thompsons out to do that soft sell kind of thing, and to say, well, we're just asking questions, and if they've lied to you about this, and this makes sense that they've lied about this, then why is it so unfathomable that they've not lied about this too? And so that's kind of how they kind of drag people in.
Yeah,
and then you have but then you have the inner kind of circle. You're encouraged to go into the likes of Gem Panda's server and see your friends being abused or harassed because they'll wind someone up. This is usually what had happened, is they'll wind people up to the point where they're nearly at the point of being like, for fuck's sake, we've just had this conversation, why are we having it again? And then the new person comes in just at that point where the kind of normal person is at breaking point. And then all the new person sees is their friends being abused. And that kind of solidifies, I don't know, some sort of community, because you have to protect your friends from being abused. And so by the time you get round to the likes of Oakley, you're already hardened to the idea that everyone hates you, everyone thinks you're an idiot, and these people don't. And these people care about you. They don't care about you. They're only interested in taking your fucking money.
Yeah.
But by that time, you're too engrossed to actually back out.
Yeah, I mean, if they were talking about the same situation in regards to a book of fiction, it would be known as a religion.
Pretty much. But there's other entities out there. There's social entities out there that do the same thing.
Yeah,
MLMs do the same thing.
Yeah, it is a club. There's no doubt about it. And then in the end, by mocking them, you actually, I think, and I mean, we do it for fun. I do it for fun, but the fact is that I probably help to solidify even more, because they become more entrenched in protecting this nonsense. The thing about it is that it has nothing to do with even common sense, because they say that, oh well, NASA's lying. Well, for goodness sake, it's been 2,000 years. that people have been that people have known that the Earth is a sphere, and ever since then, educated people have known that Earth is a sphere. So, how much lying has to be done? Is it a generational thing? The lying, do we pass on the lies to each other? Fathers pass it on to their sons, mothers pass it on to their daughters, or vice, or in between, and does this happen generation after generation after generation for thousands of years? It's just absolute nonsense.
It is.
Because so I mean that doesn't even make common sense. Just simple things like, they're lying about satellites. For goodness sake, there's a GPS ground position. Why don't you just ring up Garmin or TomTom or one of those people who actually make the devices that use these things, and just ask them and just say, look, now listen, where do those signals come from? And it's just simple things like that. So it clearly has nothing to do with facts. It's really it's a social thing, and it's fine. And then you get the people like Oakley and that who say, well, okay, I didn't realize you could make a living out of silly people. And there you go, you can.
Has he tried with a different community before the Flat Earth? I think he tried with 3 different communities trying to get fucking money out of people. And I think he was involved in an MLM years ago. And they just didn't work. And then someone brought him into the Flat Earth community. He was like, well, I have a big mouth. I can be insulting. I can yell and I can scream and I can shout and I can entertain. I can make money out of this.
Yep. I think that's right. And because, I mean, I personally think that the way he carries on is his shtick. I doubt in real life he'd be that person that he appears to be online.
I don't know, an obnoxious asshole. I've seen.
Yes,
it's not beyond the realms of possibility that he is an obnoxious arsehole in his real life. Yeah, I'm just going to put that out there, like.
But if I stood, if I was in his show, he would be as rude as it's possible to be. But if I stood, opposite him in real life, I doubt he would say stuff like that.
No, because you'd knock him the fuck out. And he's a little kid.
Well, so
if there was no cameras around.
Yeah. No, even like that was the thing with Nathan Thompson. Nathan Thompson was giving it loads about team, and then when they were doing a debate together in Texas, he was so quiet and so polite and so nice, and really like, don't hit me, don't hit me, don't hit me, like as if team would. But he was acting like his bestest buddy in the world, and then he was going back to his lads saying, "Oh yeah, I faced down Team Skeptic," and he was like, "Dude, you were a little bitch."
So I get it. I get it with Nathan Oakley. So he's going to get some money. I don't get it with someone like Sleeping Warrior. I don't get it with him because he's not making money from it. So what's he get? What does he get out of that? Is he? Yeah, I don't. He acts like he actually believes it.
I think he does. I think it started out as something that he could just wind people up with, and maybe get a little bit of a name for himself. I think for him, it's all about the admiration.
Yeah, it's the ego.
It is all about the admiration of being taken seriously. Because he's the person now that people go to, like Rachie, that'll go to and get their scripts from. We talk about people taking a script from someone. Where do you think they're going? They're not going to Oakley anymore. They're going to Warrior.
Yeah.
And that's what he wants. He wants to be the center of attention. He wants to be the guru kind of person that everyone comes to for information. Get the fuck.
But how does he square that it's obviously nonsense?
Oh, he doesn't care, I don't think.
No, he's so short-sighted he can't see further than the tip of his nose.
Yeah, I suspect you're right about that too. It's that instant gratification thing, and say, well, this fake it till you make it sort of stuff. Yeah, because I mean, it kind of doesn't actually make sense at all. I mean, the whole thing doesn't make sense, but it doesn't make sense for someone to put themselves out there and say, "Look, I believe in this. I actually believe in this nonsense," and then offer advice as if it's possible. But I think it treads quite carefully, because you might say something like gravity's fake or gravity is relative density and all that, but not actually come out and say the Earth is flat.
You see that, and that's an interesting thing though, because the likes of I don't know, something like my channel or Reason's channel, you know, we'll give our opinion, but what you do is you deliver facts, and you're able to break it down to the smallest level with the whiteboard. I love the whiteboard.
Yeah.
Love the whiteboard. And it's like, okay, you want to take this seriously? You want to ask serious questions? Well, here's the answer. And you're able to go through it so methodically. It's impressive.
Well, I'm kind of hoping that I can use it as a teaching moment, you know, for not just for flat earthers, but because I was saying, if it's possible for people to actually become victim to this nonsense, then it's something that does happen to people. So here's some facts, so that if you are on the fence, thinking that this is, you know, that this nonsense is actual real, let me show you why it's not. So hopefully, you know, people have contacted me privately, and you know, I'll keep their names to myself, but and told me that they were actually sitting on the fence, and as a result have decided that in fact it is nonsense. So there has been a few, not many, but a few wins from that point of view.
Good.
And yeah, so I think when in the last one that I showed, I mean, it's such a simple thing to do. You've got the star trails, and if you're looking at this, if you stand underneath a circular light fitting, well, it's a circle, isn't it? When you're looking at it straight up.
Yep.
Well, if you back away from it, how can it still be a circle? It's going to be oval, you know. It's going to be acutely oval, and the further away you back away from it, the more oval it's going to get. That's if you're looking at the north one. Then if you turn around and you're looking south, well, it's just going to be like a swish across the sky. It's not going to look. How can it possibly be a circular, you know, at the horizon? That doesn't. If you believe that everything rotates around the North Pole, how can you possibly have something that's circular at the horizon? That just doesn't. That's just totally
That's
incomprehensible.
not how physics works.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, but yeah, I tried that argument. I tried that argument once. I said, but if the flat Earth is spinning, and they go, oh no, the flat Earth doesn't spin; it stays absolutely still. And I'm going, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the thing, the motionless thing. It's not the Earth that's spinning; it's the firmament. That's the stars are moving in the firmament. And you're like, well, again, that still indicates movement somewhere, in which case we need to explain it. And what I love about yourself, Phil, is that you're able to, there's no bells and whistles, because you don't need it, because the information is there and it's strong and it's solid. And to be able to just break things down like that is just incredible.
Well, there's so many things wrong with this firmament idea. I mean, first of all, if you've got a sun underneath it. I mean, if you've ever had one of these fryers, these air fryers.
Yeah. I was just going to say, ever heard of an easy bake oven?
Yeah, exactly right. You know what? How on earth? Where does it all go? You know, and how could you get a pressure gradient if you've got something like the sun heating up everything? You know, you're going to get convection heating. You know, just like you would in any oven. You know, I mean, why isn't that just common sense? I mean, that straight away puts out the contention of any possibility of some sort of permanent.
There's also the argument of there are so many rainforests and forests in general all over the earth. Even with all of that, how in the heck can they possibly recycle the carbon dioxide the human population is breathing out fast enough?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, and not just carbon dioxide. We've got methane and all that sort of jazz as well, and and you've got the pressure at the ground, which is 14.7 pounds per square inch, and then you think, well, if you go up, by the time you get to 100 kilometers, it's effectively a vacuum. There's so little of it. Well, how on earth can something be responsible? They said, well, the firmament's responsible for the 14.7. How can it be responsible for the pressure that's on the ground if the gas never gets to it?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the biggest thing for me is because when I was in school, I didn't pay much attention, especially when it came to, like, I had maybe 2 years of science.
Mm-hmm.
That was it.
Yeah.
And then I left school.
Oh,
But I didn't really do science. I didn't really do math. And so I never had that relationship that other people did to science and math. And by watching the likes of yourself and PhD Tony, it kind of, for those of us who haven't been to school in a while, or who didn't do those subjects as in depth as I would have liked, to have that fresher course, to have the knowledge there that I would never have had the opportunity to get. The same with Clive. I mean, Clive's channel is just blows me away. Clive opens his mouth and I know he's speaking English, but I'm just like, little words, use little.
Yeah. But the thing is, most of the arguments that these flirts put out can be completely trashed with simple science that we are teaching right now at the grade school level. Yeah. It's stuff that I teach my students in grade 4 and 5 every day.
Well, that it does. One of the things that does bother me, and that is how, if these people are homeschooling their kids, you're thinking, how do they ever get to be someone special like Clive? How can they ever be someone like that? And if they have kids who have that sort of potential, they'd never be given the opportunity to reach that that level. Homeschooling them, who's going to teach them? Teach them what?
That's the question, isn't it?
What curriculum? Are you going to teach them that the Earth is flat? Something silly like that. That gravity isn't a thing, and science is evil.
That's the thing, though. But especially for someone like myself who had a negative experience in school, the idea that science is inherently bad, or math. Don't talk to me about math. No. And it's built up in your head, and over time, because you don't have access to the likes of yourself or Clive or Tony, it does seem like it's just too big to grasp. And to have you guys there, being so open and being so generous with your time is absolutely huge for a lot of us that just would not have had the opportunity to do any of this. So it might seem simple, but for the likes of myself, having your channel, having Clive, having Tony, having so many creators that we have around, it does make a difference, and it solidifies, and like, we know that it's right. What you're saying, we know that the Earth is round. We know that there's gradients. We know, but we know it as concepts. It's not really tangible for us until we kind of watch you break it down to the smallest little argument, and it's incredible to watch.
Well, I think I've got to say, it's kind of our fault, because in academia we can be elitist, I have to admit, and so I think that we should be more open I think that science education should be something that's out there in public, because the public does spend a lot of money on science, and we owe it to them to actually, we owe it to the public to be more open, with what happens with that money, and how research actually does happen. I think we kind of keep that to ourselves, but by the same token, like in my own position, where I have to do research, people pay for that, and I'm not doing the kind of research that that I could, because it's proprietary, and people expect me to keep it, if I find things out on their behalf, to myself. So.
Oh, Nerd says, I like most of the folks just listed and appreciate most of their views. Their opinions on Tolkien, however, meh. He's talking about Tony. But
Yeah.
before we get back into it, it is that time. And we are a little bit late, I'm sorry, but yeah, it's time to spot the goat. So give us a minute, give us 30 seconds, and we'll play the intro.
Oh.
Spot the goat, folks.
I love that intro. It just makes me laugh. Like, well done on that, by the way, Reason. It's yeah. See,
Yeah.
Nimrod, you don't have to worry about it this week because
You're already on.
you're here, so no pressure. How badly is it that you look for the goat?
I paused, I took a screenshot, and I zoomed in, and I got my daughter, who can tell from 6 feet away from me when I'm wearing contact lenses or not, and she scanned the entire picture and couldn't find the fucking goat.
Well, it's a tough one this week, I'll tell you.
Oh, I don't even know where it is, so it's up to Reason.
They're tough every fucking week.
Well, right, so here's the issue, because we wanted to make sure that people had the opportunity to come on and have a laugh with us. But the problem is the people that are good at this, and there'll always be people that are better than others when it comes to this, because I'm shit at it. I'm not even going to say I'm bad at this. But there are people who are really, really good at it. And the easier we make it, the faster they will find it.
Yeah. That's why
I'm
I'm
not
making
looking
so
at
tough.
anyone in particular, say, Beagle. Yeah.
Clive Wells, the goat is hiding in Crafty's potato drawer.
Nope.
I am going to murder Tusk. Tusk wants me to have a potato drawer. It's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, what's the point in having them in the drawer? You're going to eat them, so the drawer will never ever have any potatoes in it.
Yeah, you keep them in the bag, and that's easy access. Having to fucking open a drawer. Professor Bell, you are muted, by the way, just in case you are trying to talk.
Christian Gunelius, the goat is flat.
The goat is flat.
Yep.
Anon says, my child was falling behind a bit in math during middle school. I'm like Crafty, didn't like math. Therefore, I found a retired high school math teacher to tutor. She made it fun, and my child now loves math. See, that's what we need. That's what we need, definitely. Someone to make it engaging. But when I was doing math, my mom was not good at math either. She left. She was forced out of school at 12. So, but when it came to long division, that's where it started. I mean, she would lose her shit when I couldn't understand it and she couldn't understand it. She would take the textbook and throw it across the room. and storm out of the house. Like, that's how bad she didn't like math.
Yeah, I hated long division. I thank God I have an Apple Watch which has a calculator on it now.
Yeah, we have calculators. Just give me the bloody calculator.
And we have an offer from Rob Parks for Mr. Bell. Are you free next Saturday at 8:30 to appear on his Coffee and Science show, which is a really great stream?
You're muted again.
Yeah, no, I purposely do that. There's a bit of a racket going on. So look, I appreciate that, Rob, and I'd love to be on your show. The only thing is that I can't really start come on a show much before 10:30 or 11. See, there's about a 5.5 hour difference between here and India, here in Australia and India, and I'm doing lectures almost every night over here, our time. Till at least 10:30. So that's about 5 o'clock in India. So that makes it really difficult. So 8:30 might be a little bit too early for me. That's if you're talking about PM.
Eastern Standard Time. So he's in
He's in the
US.
States, yeah.
Yeah. So that's okay in the States. All right. I'll have to look at that. So, but certainly I'm open to that idea.
I am pretty sure that if you were really interested in doing it, that Rob would definitely move the time if he could.
Yeah.
Because having you on that show it's a whole new level, I think.
Yeah.
Look, I no problems at all. I respect. I really love what he does. So that's
awesome.
Definitely be into that. It's always a case of having just being there at the right time.
Yeah. So yeah, he's more than willing to find it more convenient.
That would be 8:30 a.m. in their time. So let's see what 8:30 a.m. in Eastern Standard Time is in Australia. I'm not really sure. I have to look that up. Is someone have to look that up for me?
Timeanddate.com would be a great website to check stuff like that out.
Yes, yeah, it is a wonderful place, that timeanddate.com. Yeah, I'm sure that's possible, Rob. So let's do that. If you can DM me in Discord, I can make a time and date for that.
Yeah, I think that'll be a great show.
Yeah.
It would be about an hour from now, basically.
Oh, that's not too bad.
That's what they're saying. It would be about an hour away from now.
Yeah. So late doesn't bother me at all. I sleep isn't something that I get much of, and I'm sure you have to do it, but I kind of find it's a waste of time.
Yeah, sleep is for the weak. Sleep is for the weak.
Yeah, exactly.
For those of us who usually get like between 3 and 5 hours, it's like, what do you mean 8? What the hell? That's like half the day. Why would you spend half the day sleeping?
I think I'm one of those, but I don't advocate it. Please don't do that. Okay.
No. If you can get sleep, get it.
I think you should get 8 hours sleep. There's something in the research says something about improving your memory actually if you sleep. I don't know.
I don't know that's true. It depends on the person, but like I think it's now they're recommending 9 because we sleep in 3-hour cycles.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you've slept 8 hours, you're actually waking yourself up mid-cycle.
Yeah,
and that's why
I know.
That's why
I know with children. With children, they perform better in school if they get a full night's sleep. Kids who stay up too late generally tend to be not as sharp during class.
Mm.
I don't know if you found the same thing, Professor, but I certainly see it in my classroom.
Oh, look, I think that's pretty. That's just common sense. You see people who are very, very tired, and there's no way known that they're picking up what you're saying. So no, that's true. And then in my own situation, if I'm not getting some sleep, I'm just wondering, am I being as animated as I probably could be? I don't know, but I'm kind of used to not having a lot of sleep. So I think you sort of adjust to those sort of things. Not that it's a good thing, and I'm not advocating it at all. So please, if you
But I know the older I get, the less sleep I need. I just don't feel the need to sleep as much as I used to.
I think that's probably true, and I'm nearly 70 now, so I'm in that sort of category.
Yeah,
and,
I just
How
turned
much
16.
did you sleep when you were my age? Jesus. Like,
oh, look, gosh, my kids were little then, so not much.
yeah, that is true. That is true. That's where you learned how to function without sleep.
It's surprising what you can do. You can actually sleep with your big toe on pushing a pram, backwards and forwards. It's amazing. Or walking a baby around the block at 2:00 in the morning, trying to get it to sleep, so mum can get some sleep.
My nephew was one of those.
Yeah. As I've said a few times before, the best sleep I ever got was when I was up all night with my daughter.
Yeah.
I haven't slept well since then.
Well, I think I've watched every one of those J.R. Ewing shows, with what is it
Dallas.
called? Dallas. Yeah, I think I watched every single one of them at 2:00 in the morning. Well, some time.
I remember that. Who shot JR?
Yeah, yeah. So, gosh.
Nobody. It was all a dream because someone was sleeping.
Oh, and there's always some
it.
deadline.
Has anyone actually found the goat, by the way?
I haven't seen anything.
Clive said that he found the goat.
Who?
I thought I read that Clive had found the goat.
Clive always tends to find the goat.
Yeah,
I thought I seen Clive saying something about basically not being able to find the goat. I read that wrong though.
The goat is being eaten by the vine that is encroached the cafe. What? Being eaten by a vine?
Save legal. Can we confirm that the goat is small and local?
Hey, I'm reading something.
Unlike the sun, yes.
Chris Durham, who tells me that right now it's 7:39 a.m. EST. So yeah, you're right. So that's pretty good. I think that won't be a problem then, because that'll just make it about. So it's now. So he's talking about 7:44. So for me that's 11:44. So if you started at 8:30, that would be 12, just after midnight over here, which is a pretty respectable time.
Now, Crafty, I've already said that guy's name, Christian's last name. Can you say Christian's last name?
Ganelius.
Ganelius.
Yeah, Christian Ganelius.
Clive Welsh says the goat is in the potato drawer. Nope.
No, Clive, because there is no such thing. It has to exist, you see. It has to exist. Uh-oh. Yeah. Sabeagle just sent me a picture saying, not a goat, but I've found the derp cat.
The what?
A derp cat. Thank you, Sabeagle. Oh, I love it. Madness.
It's there, folks, but nobody's found it yet. Christian was close, midway between crafty and reason at eye level, but you're still a little bit off.
But considering eye levels are both different there.
Yes, see, there's a flaw in the logic right there.
It's closer to crafty, but also closer to my eye level. But not exactly. So keep looking.
I'm very confused.
Huh?
Hang on. Tusk didn't confirm shit. He suggested it, that it should exist, but he didn't confirm shit. There is no such thing as a potato drawer.
I think Anon is the closest one so far. The goat is in our minds.
Ooh.
Well, that's...
Well, I tell you, don't talk to Clive
goat
Wells about what's in your mind, because he's
top,
not very
middle,
philosophical.
under a leaf. Oh man! You know what? We got a winner. Demon Orb.
Hey!
Bam! We got a winner.
Demon Orb got it.
We are going to accept that. There it is, right there.
How the fuck?
How the hell you found it? I don't know.
It's
I
the
tried
horns.
to make it
You look
pretty
out for the
tough.
horns.
That's right. That's right. But there you go, Crafty. We got a Demon Orb on the show next week, I hope.
Yay!
I still don't see the goat.
Not even
Why
in
do
the
you
circle,
get-
no.
No. No.
Why do you think I give you the zoom in? Holy mackerel. Okay,
Yeah,
now
you zoom it in every week. I still never see that.
Now I fully understand why you never find the little bugger every week.
Oh, but I am glad we have you on. I really am.
Absolutely.
This had to happen.
So there you go, Demon Orb. Get in touch with Crafty. You know what to do. We'll get you on next
Yeah.
week for sure.
Email me or message me on Discord, and we'll definitely, I'll send you the link next week, and we'll have some fun.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've had him on.
Yup. What unsuspecting victim should I choose?
Well,
That hasn't been
we
on.
might have to do a makeup. We might have to do a makeup for 9oclockero next week if he's feeling better.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
That could work.
So, Crafty, weren't you involved in farming goats, or
Yes.
So what are you still doing that?
No. I haven't really talked about it much, but the farm that I was on was owned by a good friend of mine, and his son came home in around COVID, and he was an obnoxious asshole that just got more and more verbally abusive and tried to undermine me everything that I did. And then it started to get to the point where it looked like it was going to get physically abusive towards me, and that's where I drew the line, and I had to leave. I just couldn't stay.
Speaking of the goats, have you heard anything recently about Space Gamma?
I haven't. The last I heard was the last update that I gave about them. A friend of mine went down and took a picture just before they went off to their new farms.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Well, that's a shame. It sounded like you were really enjoying that life.
yeah, I'd really love to get into it again someday, to have my own goats. But right now, I've other things on the horizon that I can't speak about at the moment, and I have work and I have too much to do now.
Just tell me you're not going to start keeping goats in your apartment.
Oh no, she's already got an old goat. Oh, I'm sorry. That's an old git.
No, I would. I'd love it. Hey, no. No rest in peace for Space Comma. Space Comma is a breeding male. He is on a farm in Kerry. So he is fine. I'm pretty fucking sure, because they were about to go off to the new farms. One is in Kerry and one is in Sligo, as far as I was aware. I think it was Sligo. So, no rest in peace. They are living happily. Well, they should be living happily. They were only babies, so.
Whichever one's gone to Kerry, I'd say he's a little bit worried.
No, that was Space Comma. Kerry isn't bad. Kerry is not like fucking Wales, so you're grand.
There you go.
Oh, look who we have in the chat.
Yeah, everyone's favorite. our resident flat earther. Gary, it is good to see you. I hope you're well. It is always
Hello,
good to
Mr.
see you in the
Warbenga.
chat. Voodoo Inquisitor says, we need a fundraiser for Crafty's new goat farm. We'll call it Toted Goats. I would definitely do that. I would definitely do that. But like, in order to get a new farm, it's several £100,000, and I would never ever put that on people.
Yeah.
If I wanted that bad, I will save, I will earn it, and it'll be mine. So,
But I'm sure the licensing would be a nightmare.
no, I have my license for farming.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I have my license for farming because I was going to take that. That was the plan. I was going to take over that farm, or I was going to take the goats out onto my own farm at one stage. But so I got my license for farming.
That's awesome.
Yep.
I think my brother's brother-in-law, my brother's wife's brother, they do a lot of farming in Louth.
In Louth.
Yeah. Don't remember what animals they have. It was a long time I talked about it because I just don't give a shit about farming.
You need a license to do farming?
Yeah, you do. It's over here. It's a regulation. You need a green cert in farming to ensure you know the regulations first of all in farming. You know you're set up with the and I've done an introduction into animal husbandry. So I've actually done a course on animal husbandry. But you do need to do a proper farming license. Over here, you can't just buy land and set up. You have to. It's very heavily regulated, and it's something that we had been fighting for a long time.
Yeah.
Because you don't want someone who doesn't know what they're doing with animals to be working with animals. It cuts out the careerist shit.
And you've got like 2 or 3 inspections every year, don't you?
Yeah, and we TB test every year. That was something we won, because what was happening, it was TB testing once every 5 years, and if your animals had TB, only cows would be reimbursed for the value if they had TB. We got sheep and goats included in that.
Cool.
And we got testing down to 1 year every year, because what was happening was the large farms, I don't even like calling them farms, the factory farms, the industrial farms, where there was huge breakouts of pretty much everything because they weren't looking after their animals, and it was easy for them to get a green cert. So it was like, grr. You know, so we got in that they had to TB test every single year. Anything that's going into the food chain has to be observed. And if it's going to a slaughterhouse, there has to be an independent state vet that inspects the animals before they go into, as they're going into the slaughterhouse. So,
and huge then the meat inspectors afterwards.
Well, this is why when people say they're against farming for animal rights reasons, I try to explain, like, work with the small farmers. We're not enemies. We're the ones actually getting the legislation through that protects farm animals.
I remember the last time I was home, I remember that I was seeing on a lot of the meat that you get in the supermarkets that they tell you where the animal came from and when it was killed and everything like that.
Oh, definitely. It's one of the regulations that we demanded. And you're not allowed to have a slaughterhouse on the same place that you kill your animals. That's another big thing. But yes, Voodoo Inquisitor for $10 says, a new battle cry for the goat farm. Hope y'all have a good day. I need to get up earlier to see these. Well, thank you, Voodoo. You don't have to get up. That's the beauty of I mean, it is better when you're actually involved in the chats, I think. But I'd hate the idea of someone having to get up at 6, 7 o'clock, which I know people do, and I'm really appreciative of. So
I only do that by accident.
Wait, what?
I said, I think Gary's a farmer, isn't he?
Is Gary a farmer? In which case?
I think he is. Gary, are you a farmer?
Gary, do you have a farm? We can definitely have a chat. I'd love to have a
Absolutely.
chat at that.
Yeah, we'd love to get you on here.
But there's Chris Shapley over in the States is a veterinarian, and he's a member of mine. And yeah, I love talking to him. I send him different reports, and I'm like, "What do you think of this one?" So he gets all my animal news. He puts up with me. Anyway, right, we're gonna have to close. We're definitely gonna have to close. Phil, what have you got coming up on your channel? What is your plans?
Unmute. Okay, so I think I'm actually wanting to do some live streaming, and I still want to run a school, so a live school.
Ooh.
So for physics and mathematics. Hopefully, get some other YouTubers involved as well in the school, and actually do some real teaching. So I think we could probably do something, try to be a bit different, and and get people involved in so online. So if people are we invite people to be online to join the class and then ask questions live, and hopefully we can, people can learn from it. Let's see how a school like that might run.
That'd be cool. I'd definitely be in the audience for that.
Yeah, and the other thing is, if not an adult one, then at least help some of the homeschool people, especially those who are teenagers. So that, I think that would be an interesting thing. So we could start maybe at GCSE level, and
do you know who to talk to about it? Do you know who to talk to about that? Katz.
Oh yes, yeah, he's a teacher. Yeah, so
yeah. He did math and science.
He teaches GCSE.
Yeah. And so actually doing it live, that so people can actually interact live and ask questions live. So it's not the same as sort of me getting on, spending 20 minutes or half an hour and explaining something, and then if you get actual questions while you're actually doing it, then that gives it a whole different life, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Rob would love to contribute to that.
Oh, well, absolutely. I'll be glad to have him. No problems at all.
That'd
be
freaking
so
amazing.
Rob, let's get together and see if we can make that happen.
If you do classes for kids, grades 2 to 4 or 2 to 5, I'll contribute.
Yeah. Oh, look, I think that's really important, and I actually have been working with some proteges who are very, very young, and something I've learned probably over the last 10 years is that is we can actually change the way we start teaching really young kids. So at the moment, it's we're teaching them about the numbers. This is number 1, number 2, number 3, but they're not actually understanding. They're taking these as symbols and not applying them to real world situations. So they're not actually understanding what they are. So we're kind of teaching kids to press buttons, but not why they press those buttons.
Yeah.
And so I think there's something to be said. So my approach is to say, I wonder if we can start algebra a lot earlier. So
that'd be interesting. That would be definitely interesting. Because as well, by the time people are starting algebra, they're already, their brains are already switched off to the idea of learning, of being if they're not able to understand it, of even wanting to understand it. They're at that age where they're just like, no, I'm not going to do this. By the way, Gary says he's a sales representative in the dairy genetics industry. I do want to have a conversation about that. That would be very, very interesting to hear about.
Agree.
Yeah. So I think this. I've actually done some stuff with the algebra and seen how that does work. Introducing the kids to the algebra early, and what's happening is that the kids are actually loving it. So they're enjoying actually doing the algebra. And then when you find people who are actually enjoying the mathematics, almost treating it like a game, because mathematics is about rules, and understanding the rules and understanding how to manipulate them and understanding how to, almost like a detective, looking for different ways to solve things. You've got a problem, how can you solve it in different ways? And kids actually love doing it. And so when you've got a kid who wants to do maths because they love it, that is a whole different thing.
Well, David Oliver makes a good point. He says algebra has always confused me. It would be nice to have a fresher course for those of us who kind of backed away from math at an early age, who didn't have that relationship. And again, to lay that kind of, because you need a good base. If you're going to understand math, if you're going to engage with math on a deeper level, you need a solid foundation. And so to even at our age, to be able to be given that foundation, now that we actually do have a passion for it, it's invaluable to have people that are willing to engage in that with us.
Look, I always worry, and I don't know whether Rob can answer this, and Clive perhaps can chip in as well, if you don't mind. And that I worry that I say, look, how far can I take this? Should I take this back to 6th grade? Should I take this back, for YouTubers, and then people say, look, I'm bored to death because I already know this, because who watches videos at that sort of level? So I always worry about where to start. If even starting a class, where do I start? Do I start at GCSE? Do I start at A levels? Do I start before then? Or do I start with people say, look, I'm confused with algebra? In that case, I could start right at the beginning and say, look, this is what algebra is for. This is why we have it. Here are the models, and this is how you can make use of it in your own life. So I don't know, maybe start earlier. It's hard to say. It's a hard call, to know where to start. And also keep it interesting.
As low as you go to as high as you can, I think.
Yeah, I think that's right, but I don't want to leave people behind, because if there's enough people who are interested in saying, well, just like enough people who are interested in saying, well, can you explain to me how light works, or what are the models we have for light, and why are they like that, or the models we have for gravity, or any of those things that we have in physics, and why are they like that, and how are they useful to us? It's a bit like this thing about flat earthers who think that we say, well, something is, as if there's a truth in it. It's not like that. It's, if we had a model for how Newton saw gravity and a model for how Einstein saw gravity, then we'd be using either of those, depending on the problem that we had to solve. So if the problem was to put a satellite in orbit, then Newton's model works perfectly well for that. It's not about this and is. It's not about a truth. It's about, here's a model that explains all the things that I need it to explain and predicts what I need it to predict. And that's what's important. It's,
well, for anyone that's interested in helping in that, Rob, I know you're interested. Clive will probably be interested in helping. Me and Etty will definitely be there as students.
Yes, right.
For sure. But yeah, definitely keep us updated in that, and I'll advertise it on the community tab on my channel as well.
Absolutely.
Nimrod,
we
have
give
you
it a
got
go?
anything?
Let's
Yeah,
give it a go.
have you got anything coming up, Nimrod, other than the little shorts? That'd be cool.
Yeah, no, I don't have anything planned really at the moment. I'm sort of just kind of taking things day to day after my big fight a few months ago. So see what happens.
Thank you for
Uh,
coming on and sharing that with us.
Absolutely.
Well, it's taken me about 5 months to start being okay with talking about it with people. Because even the people in work, what was wrong with it? Don't want to talk about it.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Like you didn't have to come and talk to us, but like I really appreciate it because we do care about you, and it is always amazing to see you in the chat.
Yeah, no, I mean, thank you very much. That's very nice to hear. After being at home for so long and watching most of the internet, the community I've found on the internet has been really nice to me when I've started talking about my problems. And I've found out I'm not the worst case out there, thank God, or thank dog, as I usually say.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You're not alone. There are so many people out there that are willing to have conversations about what they've been through, what they're going through, and to help you get through it, and to help you accept it, because it's not an easy thing to accept that this has happened to you. So it's good that you're on the better side.
It's quite the brain fuck on the psychology part, on the psychology side of it too. I've been seeing a shrink now every 2 weeks since it happened. So
that's good. That's good that you have the support there.
Yeah, that's one of the good things about the Swedish healthcare system. Everything's free for me once I pay like 1,200 crowns, I think it is. And that's for the year. Once I reach that level, everything is free after that.
Nice.
And the same with medicine. I think I have to pay like 1,400 crowns, so about 140 euro per year, and then all my medicines after that are free.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been very nice.
The Irish system still hasn't caught up. Let me tell you. But thank you.
Yeah,
so much
no,
for coming on.
I know. I talk to my dad about it all the time, and it's just crazy. It's a horrible system. Having to reach a certain amount every month just is never obtainable for most people.
Well, recently I've been sick, and the medicine to help me get better was not covered on a medical card, so it's cost me like 170 euro a month.
Oh.
So just to be able to like do these shows and to live normally is costing about 170 on one set of tablets for a month.
Wow.
So yeah, no,
so Ireland is by no means perfect.
No, it's not. I mean, you can see a doctor quicker than you can here, because here you go in looking for a time to go and see a doctor, and you're talking a few months unless it's an absolute emergency. Whereas in Ireland, you can basically just walk into any GP.
Yeah, and if you don't have a medical card, it's 50 quid. And even that, if you're really desperate, they can waive it, because they've done it for me a few times when I didn't have a medical card.
Yeah.
At one stage, I wasn't on the welfare and I wasn't working. I was in between, and so I lost my medical card because I had no income, which is just beyond belief. Like, but my doctor was incredible and just waived the fees because they have that power. So
yeah, guess how much it is. Guess how much it is to just go see your ordinary doctor over here.
Oh, I don't know.
10 euro.
Fuck my life.
Mm-hmm. And it was free for a little while, but there were lots of hypochondriacs just clogging up the system massively. So they brought back in the 100 crown charge just to calm that down.
Just to ease the pressure.
Because everybody was just going in, I have a headache, this, that, and the other. Now people don't do that.
Well, again, thank you guys for coming on. Reason, you are on Etty's stream later, aren't you?
That's right. I'm on the Hobby Corner today. So come and see me over there. It's going to be cool. Is
that at 6, Etty? Like 5 hours from now?
Yeah, something like it. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning for me.
That's none. You're on holidays.
I don't have to work
grand.
tomorrow. I'm on holiday for the next week, so I don't have to get up early tomorrow.
That makes one of us. Yeah, it's at 6. It's at 6. So on Etty Little Rage's channel, please go and have a look.
Yeah, it would be
That'd be
fun.
awesome.
It would be really fun.
And well done on the manga, by the way.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad you have you tried it?
I want to desperately, but I'd fuck it up. So I'm gonna have to wait until I get someone that knows what they're doing. Actually, when I invade Scotland, maybe I can convince Tusk to make it for me.
It's dead simple. It's dead
You
simple.
say that. You're talking to me.
Well,
Hey, I watched that video that Tusk made. That is not a simple dish.
No, it's fucking not. It is when you know what you're doing, but it's not. And you'd need to know where to go to get the ingredients. And in Dublin, that's
the
a
trick.
lot easier said than done.
Getting the ingredients is a trick. But anyways, see what else. Yeah, we've got the Tet holiday this week, so I'm going to be heading into town and getting some good footage of this year's flower display on the main street, Winway Street here in Ho Chi Minh City. So I'll be making a video about that. Hopefully get that up by the end of next week.
Cool.
And I got big things in the pipes for the future, folks. Watch this space. Crafty knows about it, but don't say it. Big things. I'm really excited. Hopefully we'll get on that soon. So that's it for me.
Yes, and keep an eye on the Pain of Progress because season 5 is coming fast. And you won't even notice that it's here. So if you're not subscribed to Pain of Progress, where the fuck have you been? Go and binge right now.
Yeah, we're 3 episodes into season 4 already.
I know, it's mental. It's mental. But at the moment, I have no plans. I do have plans for stuff, but I can't really talk about them at the moment because it all depends on how I'm feeling that day. But I do have an Eye on Society coming soon, and I have another Keela Talks coming soon.
Cool.
And I have some other things that I need to address, maybe. But until then, we will talk to you later. And it's so good that you guys joined us. Fucking 30 people on a Sunday morning. It's just unbelievable. So thank you guys for being here. Phil, Nimrod, thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
No bother.
Real pleasure talking to both of you.
Yeah.
It makes a huge difference to be able to speak to you guys. It really does.
It's a whole lot easier talking to you, and you don't have to worry about what letters you're typing. And
and then you have people like Say Beagle, who's on the stream, who'd rather type anyway because we're not that interesting, apparently. I'm joking. It's okay. Okay, lads.
Although having said that, some things you just can't say on.
This is true. This is true.
Anyways,
I learned that the hard way. But we won't speak about that.
We got to get going. So
we do. So have a good Sunday, folks. And
Thanks
we will
for the
see you
invite.
next week.
good day, good night, good
Thank
afternoon,
you.
whatever.
Good night.
See you next time.
Always welcome
Bye-bye.
here. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.